Little mellow music on this Thursday evening. Early evening sports buffet with Ginch. I am said Ginch, Ryan Neff, your ugly ass host. Lots of news in the world of sports. It is currently about 77 degrees. Weather can make up its mind. One day it's 80, next day it's 50, next day it's 55, and next day it's 45. Hope everybody's enjoying the Thursday evening. The Final Four coming up Saturday. And other stuff. NHL winding down for the playoffs. NBA winding down. Again, thanks for joining. Some news and notes from around the world in sports today, some headlines. The Arizona Cardinals have made Trey McBride the highest paid tight end in the National Football League. 4-year, $76 million extension, $43 million guaranteed, supported by John Weinfuss of the ESPN. McBride's annual average of $19 million is the deal. In the deal is the highest for an NFL tight end, surpassing Travis Kelce. If you remember, he was drafted in the second round in 2022. He has the fourth most receptions, 221. And yards, 2,236 among tight ends since that time. So obviously the Cardinals lock up one of their primary weapons. The team still has a long way to go. The Las Vegas Raiders and Geno Smith have reached a 2-year, $75 million extension, reported by Ryan McFadden of ESPN. The contract has incentives that could push the total to $85.5 million and includes $66.5 million in guaranteed money. Smith is now contractually obligated to Vegas through the 2027 season. He had 1 year left and $31 million on the $75 million contract he signed with the Seahawks in 2023. So good for him. We'll see what happens in Seattle, since the cupboard, as far as the receiving core, is bare. But we'll see what happens. As reported by the Associated Press, a Georgia man who swindled Dwight Howard gets 12 years in prison. A Manhattan jury in October convicted Calvin Darden Jr. of cheating Howard out of $7 million in a bogus scheme to buy the WNBA's Atlanta Dream. The 50-year-old Atlanta resident was also found guilty of bilking $1 million from former NBA forward Chandler Parsons in a separate ruse involving the development of the then NBA prospect James Wiseman. Manhattan federal court judge today ordered Darden to forfeit $8 million as well as several luxury items he acquired with the ill-gotten gains, including a $3.7 million Atlanta mansion, $600,000 in artwork by Jean-Michel Basquiat, a Lamborghini, and a Rolls Royce. So, richly deserved sentence. As reported by Jeff Borzello, ESPN, UConn adds ex-Georgia star Silas DeMary Jr. to their backcourt. Of course, when things aren't going well at one place, you can just enter the transfer portal. Good for them. Top tennis players. This is also reported by the Associated Press. Djokovic, golf, other players ask for more money, more say. Signed a 4-year sent. They signed a letter sent to the heads of the 4 Grand Slam tournaments seeking more prize money and a greater say in what they call decisions that directly impact us. I'm just going to read here verbatim. The letter, a copy of which was obtained Thursday by the Associated Press, is dated March 21st and begins with a request for an in-person meeting at this month's Madrid Open between representatives of the players and the four people to whom it was addressed: Craig Tilley of the Australian Open, Stephanie Morel of the French Open, Sally Bolton of Wimbledon, and Lou Scher of the U.S. Open. I won't go into the details. You can read it for yourself. Well, here we go. The players have outlined 3 areas they want to focus on. Grand Slam tournaments should make financial contributions to player welfare programs funded by the 2 pro tours. Prize money should increase to a more appropriate percentage of tournament revenues, reflective of the player's contribution to the tournament value. Does this sound like NIL to you? The athletes should have more say in decisions directly impacting competition as well as player health and welfare. The Dallas Cowboys have acquired quarterback Joe Milton from the Patriots. Joe Milton III, sorry. Be Dak Prescott's backup. Hint, hint. The Cowboys acquired Milton and a 2025 7th-round pick from the New England Patriots for a 2025 5th-round pick today. Just remember Cooper Rush has bolted for the Ravens for $4.2 million. It won't matter anyway. Whatever. Baltimore, this is reported by Doug Greenberg and Paula Levine, ESPN. Baltimore has sued DraftKings and FanDuel alleging misleading tactics. City of Baltimore has sued both. They're accusing the sportsbook of engaging in deceptive and unfair practices to target and exploit vulnerable gamblers. The complaint alleges that the companies use misleading promotions to attract bettors and then leverage data and analytics to keep problem gamblers betting. Practices, it says, are in violation of the city's consumer protection ordinance. I was wondering when something like this was going to come up. FanDuel declined to comment, while DraftKings did not provide a statement. Just some other stuff here. The lawsuit outlines the companies acquire new users by offering bonus bets, monetary credits that can only be used at the sportsbook as a reward for signing up. These bonus bets are often only valid for 7 days, which encourages frequent betting in the early stages, according to the complaint. So more mess in the world of betting for DraftKings and the FanDuel. Go to the NFL. Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals. Talks have stalled on his contract. So it looks like it's going to get ugly. The Chicago Bears expand options for stadium site to include Arlington Heights. This is reported by Courtney Cronin, ESPN. Team president and CEO Kevin Warren said the Bears are expanding their options to include Arlington Heights, Illinois, where the franchise currently owns the 326-acre property that previously housed the Arlington International Racecourse. The Bears purchased the land in Arlington Heights for $197.2 million in September 2021, but have not begun developing the site, which was expected to feature a multi-billion-dollar stadium project and include restaurants, retail space, and real estate. So again, teams looking to move and build better stadiums. It would be a shame if Soldier Field goes by the wayside. Unfortunately, sad news in the world of the NFL. John Vella, who won Super Bowl with Oakland Raiders, dies at 74. No cause of death was given, so thoughts and prayers out to him, his family, and his friends. He was part of that dominant Raiders offensive line back in the 70s. Go to the NBA, shall we? As we're winding down. The NBA has warned Ja Morant and Buddy Hield over finger gun gestures. Reported by Shams Charania, ESPN. NBA ruled that the celebrations were not intended to be violent in nature, but were inappropriate. Okay. 76ers star Tyrese Maxey is expected to miss the remainder of the season. Go figure. He has a finger tendon injury. It's time for the Sixers to just blow that the hell up. See what they do. Houston Rockets Dylan Brooks gets a one-game ban for his 16th technical foul. Okay. Let's go to the association scores. Light schedule today. At the half, the Bucks are up on the 76ers, 61-59. The Magic are up on the Wizards, 61-45. Right now in the second, Timberwolves and Nets tied at 24. Early in the second, Heat up on the Grizz, 29-25. Early in the second, Raptors up on the Blazers, 35-31. And the Warriors and Lakers tip off at 10 o'clock. I went over the standings the other day. Not much has changed. This is going to be a quick show today. You can go to the NHL. Some news from the NHL. Dallas Stars Jamie Benn Sitz. He is ending his game played streak at 371. What the hell? After you play 371 straight, day off. Ovechkin is now 3 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's record. Now, some of this other stuff I went over the other day. So let's go to the scores. Canadians up on the Bruins in the second, 1-0. In the first, right now, the Blues and Penguins are scoreless. Blues, one of the hottest. Well, it looks like the Penguins just scored. Did I just see that correctly? Yes, it's 1-0 Penguins. Over the Blues. Blues, one of the hottest teams in the NHL. That's in the first. In the second, Senators up on the Lightning 2-zip. In the first, Avalanche and Blue Jackets are tied 1-1. In the first, Preds and Senators 0-0. Later on at 9 o'clock, Kings are at the Utah Hockey Club. Ducks are at the Flames. That's at 9:30. And then at 10 o'clock, Jets at the Golden Knights. And at 10:30, the Oilers are at the Sharks. Went over the standings the other day. I haven't done student body rights since last week because there's really not too much news in the world of college football. But let me go to some of the things here. Eli Letterman reporting, ESPN, Ohio State lands number 34 prospect Simeon Caldwell, 4-star defender. 6'2", 195-pound recruit from Jacksonville, Florida. He's ESPN's number 4 outside linebacker. That's kind of smallish for an outside linebacker. He picked Ohio State over Miami, Notre Dame, and USC. Again, recruiting in full effect. As reported by Adam Rittenberg, Tulane quarterback T.J. Finley has been suspended indefinitely following his arrest on a charge of illegal possession of stolen things worth more than $2,500. He was booked and released. Hopefully he can get some help with whatever issues he has. Quarterback Drew Pine leaves Missouri. He's entering the transfer portal. That was Tuesday. Remember, he's played at Notre Dame, Arizona State, Missouri, and this will be his 6th year coming up. Just makes no sense to me. Sacramento State has filed and applied to become FBS independent to try and transition from FCS to FBS. Some smaller schools trying to enter FBS. Much money to be had. And if you haven't read already, Deion Sanders lands a $54 million extension in Colorado. Runs through 2029, making him one of the highest paid coaches, college coaches in the country. His base salary will increase to $10 million in 2025. That makes him the highest paid coach in the Big 12 and among the top 10 highest paid coaches in the country. Sanders will earn another $10 million in 2026, $11 million in 2027, $11 million in 2028, and $12 million in 2029. Just reading over some other stuff here. If Sanders accepts another coaching job before the end of the contract, his buyout starts at $12 million for the rest of 2025, followed by $10 million in 2026, $6 million in 2027, $4 million in 2028, and $3 million in 2029. He can retire from coaching, though, without having to pay damages to the university, as long as he doesn't then return to coach somewhere else. Not a bad deal, eh? Just trying to see if there's any other news and notes. This is reported by Heather Dinich, ESPN. I'll just read what she says here. Earlier today, multiple sources have indicated their strong support to move to a straight seeding model this fall, while continuing to include the 5 highest-ranked conference champions. There are some, though, who want to tie that discussion into 2026, as the commissioners are expected to have more substantive talks about the format in 2026 and beyond. Haven't seen anything since then, though. Yeah, there hasn't been any updates. That I've seen. Yeah, I'm trying to look here to see if there has been any updates on that front, and I'm not seeing anything. Just for shits and giggles, College Football News, the website. I'm just going to go over this. This is March 11th. This is their way too early top 10 for 2025. Number 10, they have Miami. Number 9 is LSU, according to them. Number 8 is Texas. Penn State, they have 7th. Michigan, they have 6th. Clemson, 5th. Notre Dame, 4th. Alabama's 3rd. Ohio State, 2nd. They have Georgia ranked 1st, which I'm not seeing it. But that's just me. Let's go to Major League Baseball, ladies and gentlemen. I will go to the standings. I know it's early. American League East, Toronto's 5-2. Tampa Bay 4-2. New York Yankees are 3-2. Boston, Baltimore 3-4. In the American League Central, ladies and gentlemen, every team is 2-4. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Out west, Texas is 5-2. The Angels are 4-2. Houston's 3-4. Seattle's 3-4. And the Athletics, or the Pathetics, are 2-5. National League East, Philadelphia 5-1. Miami's 4-3. The Mets are 3-3. Washington's 1-5, and Atlanta is 0-7. Rough start. In the Central, St. Louis is 4-2. Chicago's 5-4. Cincinnati 2-4. Milwaukee 2-4. And my Pirates, who have already been eliminated from playoff contention, they're 2-5. Out west, the Dodgers are 8-0. The Padres are 7-0. The Giants are 5-1. Arizona's 4-2. Rockies are 1-5. Light schedule today in Major League Baseball. Earlier today, the Phillies beat the Rockies 3-1. The Stros beat the Twins 5-2. Right now, on the top of the 4th, Reds Brewers are scoreless. Bottom of the 4th, Yankees up on the Diamondbacks 7-3. And earlier today, the Red Sox over the Orioles 8-4. The English Premier League. Yesterday, Ipswich beat Bournemouth 2-1. Villa beat Brighton 3-0. Man City beat Leicester 2-0. Newcastle over Brentford 2-1. Southampton and Crystal Palace tied 1-1 draw. And Liverpool over Everton 1-0. Today, Chelsea beat Spurs 1-0. On Saturday at 7:30 a.m., Everton will host Arsenal. At 10 a.m., Palace will host Brighton. Ipswich will host Wolves. West Ham will host Bournemouth. And at 12:30, Villa, in a big one, hosts Nottingham Forest. Then on Sunday at 9 o'clock, Brentford hosts Chelsea. Fulham hosts Liverpool. Spurs host Southampton. And at 11:30, the Man Derby, Man United, Man City. And on Monday, Leicester will host Newcastle. PGA Tour, TPC San Antonio, the Oaks course. Still in progress. But right now, Mr. Sam Ryder, -9. Is it Sam Ryder or Steve Ryder? I can't remember. He leads in the clubhouse right now at 9 under. So remember, the Masters is next week, ladies and gentlemen. NCAA women's basketball tomorrow night, the Final Four. Pits number 1 Texas against number 1 South Carolina. South Carolina favored by 5.5. The over-under is 124.5 total. Then the second game pits number 2 seeded UConn against number 1 UCLA. UConn favored by 7.5. The total over-under is 133.5. I had South Carolina playing UConn in the national title game. And I believe I had South Carolina winning it all. I know a lot of people are on UConn, but I'm still going South Carolina. then we go to the men's on Saturday. 1 seed Florida, 1 seed Auburn. Florida's favored by 2.5. The over-under total is 159.5. I have Florida reaching the championship game, so I'm sticking with Florida. I have Florida winning it all. And then the second game will pit number 1 seed Houston against number 1 seed Duke. Duke favored by 5.5. The over-under total is 135.5. I believe I had Duke and Florida in the national title game with Florida winning it all, but the way Houston's playing, don't be surprised if Houston wins that game. And don't forget NCAA men's hockey, the Frozen Four final. That's Thursday, April 10th. So you got the Masters, you have the Frozen Four. Denver will play number 4 seeded Western Michigan, and Penn State plays Boston U. Let's see what else. Let's go to the softball rankings on the women's side. NCAA softball. This is ESPN.com USA softball poll. Clemson's 25th, Liberty's 24th, Alabama's 23rd, Ohio State's 22nd, Nebraska 21st, Ole Miss 20th, Duke 19th, Oklahoma State 18th, Stanford 17th, Georgia 16th, Mississippi State 15th, Texas Tech is 14th, Arkansas is 13th, Arizona's 12th, Virginia Tech's 11th, Florida State's 10th, South Carolina 9th, UCLA 8th, LSU 7th, Tennessee is 6th. Oregon's 5th, Texas A&M 4th, Oklahoma 3rd, Florida 2nd, Texas is your unanimous number 1 team. Scores from today, top 25, right now on the bottom of the second, number 3 Oklahoma over St. Thomas, 1-0. Tomorrow, top 25 action, number 1 Texas takes on Missouri at 11 o'clock. Number 13, Arkansas, number 2, Florida play. That's at 6 p.m. Number 15, Mississippi State plays number 6, Tennessee. That's at 6. Also at 6, number 20, Ole Miss against number 9, South Carolina. Also at 6, Virginia plays number 10, Florida State. Also at 6, number 11, Virginia Tech at NC State. Also at 6, North Carolina plays number 19, Duke. At 6, number 21, Nebraska against Iowa. Later on at 7, number 23, Alabama takes on number 7, LSU. Also at 7, Utah travels to number 14, Texas Tech. At 8 o'clock, number 3, Oklahoma will play UCF. At 9 o'clock, Michigan is at number 5, Oregon. 9 o'clock, number 22, Ohio State's at number 8, UCLA. At 9 o'clock, number 18, Oklahoma at number 12, Arizona. And at 9, number 25, Clemson is at number 17, Stanford. NCAA men's baseball, the top 25 according to D1Baseball.com. Number 25, Georgia Tech. Number 24, Arizona State. Number 23 is Vanderbilt. 22nd is Kansas State. 21st is Coastal Carolina. 20th is Troy. North Carolina 19th. Louisville is 18th. Dallas Baptist is 17th. Auburn 16th. Oregon's 15th. UCLA's 14th. Southern Miss is 13th. UC Irvine 12th. Oregon State's 11th. Oklahoma's 10th. Oklahoma 10th. 9 is Mississippi. 8 is Alabama. 7th is LSU. 6th is Clemson. 5th is Texas. 4th is Florida State. 3rd is Georgia. Number 2, Arkansas. And number 1, Tennessee. Top 25 action today. Bottom of the 5th, number 7, LSU is up on Oklahoma 2-zip. Top of the 5th, number 19, North Carolina over Duke 3-2. Tomorrow, 3 p.m., number 9, Ole Miss is at Kentucky. Number 6 p.m., Southern Miss is at Marshall. At 6 p.m., number 18, Louisville hosts Boston College. 6 p.m. Duke is at number 19 North Carolina. At 6, number 20 Troy is at Old Dominion. At 6, Arkansas State is at number 21 Coastal Carolina. 6:30 p.m. we've got number 23 Vandy at Florida. 6:45 p.m. number 9 Ole Miss at Kentucky. 7 p.m. at Texas A&M is at number 1 Tennessee. 7 p.m. number 8 Alabama is at number 16 Auburn. At 7 p.m. Western Kentucky is at number 17 Dallas Baptiste. 7 p.m. number 22 Kansas State at Oklahoma State. 7:30 number 3 Georgia at number 5 Texas. 7:30 number 7 LSU at number 10 Oklahoma. At 8 p.m. Missouri is at number 2 Arkansas. At 8 p.m. Wake Forest at number 4 Florida State. 8:05 p.m. Michigan is at number 15 Oregon. 8:35 p.m. number 12 UC Irvine is at number 11 Oregon State. 9 p.m. number 6 Clemson at California. 9 p.m. San Diego is at number 14 UCLA. 9 p.m. Georgia Tech ranked 25th at Stanford. 9:30 p.m. Arizona at number 24 Arizona State. Looking for some other stuff here. Looking for some other news and notes that I may have missed. Not really seeing anything. Like I said, it's going to be a quick show. Let's see. Really nothing of major importance. Oh. Let me just do this. You go to the NBA. Again, teams that have clinched as of today: Cleveland, Boston, New York, and Indiana in the East. Out west, Oklahoma City and Houston. There's a lot to be determined. In the NHL, Toronto in the Atlantic in the Eastern Conference, Washington, Carolina. Western Conference teams that have clinched: Winnipeg, Dallas, and Vegas. In the Atlantic, Toronto, Tampa Bay, and Florida would be in. Washington, Carolina, and Jersey would be in. Teams vying for the wild card are Ottawa, Montreal, the Rangers, and the Blue Jackets. And out west and central, Winnipeg, Dallas, and Colorado would be in. The Pacific, Vegas, LA, Minnesota, and St. Louis seem to be comfortably in with the wild card. Utah, Calgary, and Vancouver all vying for a wild card. So again, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. Like I said, quick, kind of a slow day in sports. Hopefully, everything will pick up back next week. Monday is the NCAA men's basketball championship game. I believe Sunday is the women's. I believe so. Major League Baseball in full swing. NHL and NBA winding down their regular seasons. NFL draft coming up at the end of the month. NCAA college football is 20 weeks away. So, with all that being said, practice compassion, practice empathy, have passion for what you do. Hug somebody today, you might make their day. Tell somebody you love them, you might not get a second chance. Reach out to people that you haven't talked to in a while. 8:35 here on the East Coast. 5:36 on the West Coast. 8:36 here on the East Coast, in the balmy East Coast. I want to thank to everyone who tunes in live or watches the replays. It's greatly appreciated. Tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your boss, tell your Republicans, tell your Democrats, tell your congressmen, tell your senators. There's only one thing left to say as I end every show. You know, I don't have what's your major malfunction, numbnuts kind of person. Maybe I'll save it for next week. But there's only one thing left to do.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.